across to our senior editor, Prakash, joining us from Patna in Bihar. Prakash, Bihar has also, of course, seen a lot of reverse migration in lakhs. Get us more on what the state is planning to do in days and weeks ahead.
Well, Shivani, I'm here at the Patna airport, and now that the the flight operations have started, and I'm joined by a special guest, Rajiv Pratap Rudy. We may call him Captain Rudy right now because he's just flown in an Indigo flight from Delhi to Patna, and probably he's the only parliamentarian in the world to fly commercial flight, I must say, Mr. Rudy. So, Mr. Rudy, I'm seeing you in the attire for the first time. Of course, I have traveled with you on a couple of occasions. So how was the experience for operating flight after a gap of 2 months, 2.5 months to be very precise?
Well, Prakash, I'm back to Patna. It's a dream. For me, the loveliest place to be back is Patna. And Patna and, of course, my constituency, Amnor. And I'm proud to be a Bihari. And that is one thing which I talk about. And so, back at Patna Airport, my life is normal.
But
thanks to Nitish Kumar, and today...
What was the protocol that were followed in the flight? Because this would be a different flight. Less capacity, social distancing, and...
that decision made by the Prime Minister and the government and the airport operators and the airlines have worked phenomenally well. The problem arose today when few of the state governments did not allow flights to come in, like Telangana and Hyderabad. Flights to Mumbai got restricted and to West Bengal. As a result, the flights which were originating from one point to other, they do not go one destination to and fro. They also go transit. As a result, a lot of rescheduling had to take place, and that created a lot of confusion. But an outstanding arrangement by CISF, by GMR, by the airlines, and almost each and every one was given a kit to wear. For us, it's a different SOP altogether. Inside the cockpit, inside we have gloves, but inside it's very sterile.
You also flew a cargo flight to Dhaka recently.
Yeah.
What was it all about?
Well, that was carrying PPE kits to and fro Dhaka and materials there. So that was a COVID supplies and emergency flight. I wanted to be a part of the small, the warriors which are. And being a pilot is, of course, in this situation, but much is these youngsters who are the cabin crew. They interact with passengers much more, the ground staff. But a wonderful job done by the ATC, wonderful job being done by the airlines, wonderful job being done by the government. And I must say the Prime Minister has given the vision, he's given the leadership. Even the Minister, Mr. Puri, is doing exceptionally.
We were also told that in between the lockdown, when the lockdown was being extended, you had offered your services to ferry migrant passengers, migrant laborers on flight to Patna, because Bihar is witnessing a large number of reverse migration, Mr. Rudy, and which is a very sorry picture, and it has painted India very wrongly on the international map.
Well, I can tell you the 60 to 70% of the passengers from Delhi to Patna today were not the upper class. They were all workers, and most of them were workers and middle class. So there is a return back to Bihar, and it's a challenge for Bihar. And already I believe 10 lakh officially have registered who have come back to Bihar, and possibly another 5 lakhs may have entered from other places, or maybe more, and many more yet to come. But keeping all this in view, it's a big, challenging, daunting task for the State Chief Minister, Mr. Nitish Kumar and Sushil Modi for that matter. But I'm sure it's going to be, should become an opportunity for Bihar. And this is the strength of Bihar.
Now I'll ask a question to politician and member of parliament, Mr. Rudy, instead of Captain Rudy. So Bihar is witnessing large number of reverse migration. Could have this been handled in a better way? Who was responsible for this? Because large number of reverse migration, people...
no one planned the COVID. It struck the world. It was not brought by anyone. So one had to gear up to the challenges as they came up. And it was dynamic. It was never stabilized. So if you took a decision to shut down, there were people who would have said, no, open it up. If you said open it up, people would have said shut it down. politics would always be there. But I think the Prime Minister took the best of decision, the Minister and the government, and most of the state governments have done exceptionally well. And I would rate the performance of the state government of Bihar as very good.
Was the pollution level in the sky at normal level? How was the sky?
Well, we were cruising at 37,000 feet and the sky was clear. No turbulence.
How
It
did
was.
you try to entertain these passengers?
No, they would not be. No, on my PS system, I conversed with them and they did well.
Some of the passengers are also here. इनको पहचानते हैं जहाज उड़ा रहे थे आप
सर मैं तो लेकिन शायद
ये मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट
ओके ओके
कैसा फ्लाइट उड़ाया इन्होंने इनको कितना नंबर दे दिया
सर मैं 9 आउट ऑफ 10
10 आउट ऑफ 10 कैसा उड़ाया इन्होंने फ्लाइट
बहुत अच्छा।
सांसद है ये पहचानते हैं आप
मैं इनको नाम से थोड़ा बहुत समझ रहा था फ्लाइट में जो अनाउंसमेंट हो रहे थे ना राजीव प्रताप रूडी
मैं तो नहीं उड़ा उनके साथ लेकिन आप कैसा कितना नंबर देते हैं
ये बचपन से जो भी चलाते हैं अच्छा ही चलाते हैं।
10 में 10 So there we see Captain Rudy and Member of Parliament, and he flies flight quite oftenly in different parts of the country, and he keeps coming to Patna quite often. Now he'll be going to his parliamentary constituency, Amnor, because there are a large number of reverse migration happening in his constituency, and we'll also see the plight of the laborers and be with them. That's what the main purpose of his visit to Patna is. Back to you.